on his neck. You got to keep scoring. You can't take it. Can't kick off. You see how he put up what in the fourth quarter, even though during garbage time he was putting up some stuff. So I just think that now like again, I guess we can start kind of bogged down on the GOAT conversation with Pat Mahomes. And speaking of GOAT conversation, let's segue into that, Greg. What's your thoughts on Pat Mahomes? Do you still think that he can be put in the GOAT conversation with Tom Brady now?
Oh, absolutely. Now when people always brought up that he is the GOAT, I always had like, a pause because like I cannot put him as the GOAT as of right now. And I was saying that before this game. You get what I'm saying? And for this reason right here, when you look at Tom Brady, he has longevity. Like he was able to get a Super Bowl win in 40. He also have 7 rings, by the way. And with Patrick Mahomes now, if I'm talking, and this goes back to when I had the conversation about LeBron James, Jordan and Kobe, when I was talking about the GOAT versus being the greatest of all time and being the best of all time. Like as of right now, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback we ever seen in the history of the game. Hands down. You get what I'm saying? And I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that no one will debate that. Some may, but it's few that will debate that. But when you're talking about in terms of greatness, that's always going to be a whole different argument. Tom Brady, like he is, I don't even have Tom Brady as being probably the best. If I was talking about the best quarterbacks I've seen in the time I have watched the game, Tom Brady would not be in my top three. But
You want to say
it,
that?
yes.
Wow.
But if you're going to ask me who is the greatest quarterback I have ever seen, I got to go with Tom Brady. You get what I'm saying? When we talking about the GOAT conversation, Tom Brady will be up there. He can be number one still. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like when I'm talking about the best quarterbacks I have watched play, I got to go with Patrick Mahomes. I got to go with Aaron Rodgers, and I got to go with also got to go with Peyton Manning. You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
But
So I'm saying this though. You saying I think we all get. I like Aaron Rodgers, bro.
mhm.
But I think we get on with his arm, his talent. He's a special talent. But when it comes to leadership, bro, and leading the team and things like that, man, I don't know if I could put Aaron Rodgers in the GOAT conversation. After based on solely how he this New York Jets thing, I think for me has put a bad taste in my mouth
No,
with
notice
Aaron
what I
Rodgers.
said though. I didn't say Aaron Rodgers was the top three in the GOAT conversation. I say
Right.
the best players of all time that I watch. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's why I say it's a difference. If like when I point out Aaron Rodgers is one of the best like before I saw Patrick Mahomes, I had Aaron Rodgers as the best quarterback I've ever watched. And before then I had Peyton Manning. You get what I'm saying? And the only thing that separate Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers from Tom Brady is their mobility, their ability to run. But you talking about like when I'm talking about now, if I'm going to say a pocket passer, just pocket passer, oh yeah, Peyton Manning hands down. But at the same time, like if somebody was to tell like argue me and say Tom Brady or whatnot, okay, fair assessment. You know what I'm saying? But like I'm always going to point to like to a team. You get what I'm saying? Like the teams, each one of them had because like people say Mahomes, like as of right now, they say okay, we're gonna put a pause on the GOAT conversation. Fair enough. You get what I'm saying? Um, but you have to remember this: early in Tom Brady career, you got to think that he was not the driving force behind these wins. You get what I'm saying? He played good. It's almost similar to like when we look at Brock Purdy. Like it's like almost similar to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people want to point out the interception that Pat Mahomes had. You also got to look at Tom Brady now, not the one that he played in Tampa, but look at his last two Super Bowls that he won prior to that. He had his numbers was identical to Patrick Mahomes' first half numbers. When you look at in terms of interceptions, yards, turnovers, and things of that nature. In the first quarter, in the first half, he had 2 interceptions in the Atlanta game.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the game against Seattle, he had 2 interceptions that game. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? The thing that was able to that the thing that turned everything around is that he didn't have the same amount of pressure on him in the second half. You get what I'm saying? And your
Right.
defense got to be able to make plays and whatnot. And it's why I get, I always bring up, if your defense is playing good along with your offense, then that's when you start to be able to say, yeah, this quarterback was able to make a comeback. But your defense got to be able to play good as well as your offense.
Yeah. In this GOAT conversation as well, man, the defense as well, they're a part of it. And if you, I mean, you just look at historically, all Tom Brady Super Bowls,
Mm,
shit, his defense played a major part in him winning those Super Bowls.
right,
It wasn't just like him carrying the team. And you look
right,
at those early Super Bowls, I can say make a case that probably the first two Super Bowls, I would say the defense carried Tom Brady. It
right.
wasn't until like they got Randy Moss, I would say, when the offense really opened up for Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? That's when it was like, okay, Tom Brady is like carrying his team now. Is,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So
And
uh
and also you can look at like the Super Bowl against the Rams or whatnot. Tom Brady
mhm,
had a horrible game. Like that was the worst Super Bowl we ever watched. And it's crazy, right? Because you can say that Tom Brady was a part of the worst Super Bowl we ever watched and one of the greatest Super Bowls we ever watched. And even that one he lost, but he played a good game, though. You get what I'm saying? Like he
right,
lost against Philly, but due to no fault of his own because he played a great game. That you get what I'm saying?
right.
And so you can't count that against him, you know. So
I feel
I
you.
have to be fair to that because I would use that same argument to when Pat Mahomes lost to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, which he didn't have no offensive line. His whole offensive line was banged up.
Hmm.
But and like I say, man, it's a lot of times, man, is variables that happen with this, outside of just a player playing bad. Sometimes you have that, like, yeah, he playing like trash right now. Like in the first half, Patrick Mahomes played bad. You know what I'm saying? But you can also say the same thing for Tom Brady in the first half of some of his games as well, that he played bad. But the thing was that turned things around. Your defense was able to play good along with you playing good as well.
Yeah.
So that is why I say I do not take, like I say, I never had like as far as being better. Oh yes, I still got Patrick Mahomes ahead of Tom Brady. I got him as the best quarterback I ever watched. But in terms of the GOAT conversation, like I always had a pause with that because his career is still going. He's still building his legacy. Like, I'm not gonna put a quarterback with only 3 Super Bowls over a quarterback that has. I mean, you can, but you still have to he got a lot more football to play. You know what I'm
Left
saying?
plate. I get what you're
Right.
saying.
Like the things that Tom Brady has done already, like I mean, even like look at the comeback wins. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like now, even though that Legion of Boom team was banged up, like because like when you put a comparison with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, right? And I'm going somewhere with this, right? Like, like Tom Brady got like they got this record, right? Like the number one defense is, I think, as of right now, going into the Super Bowl, they are 11-2. When you got the number one defense playing in the Super Bowl. Now, one of those losses that the number one defense took was against Tom Brady. You get what I'm saying? Now, that is a testament to his greatness. Now, but at the same time, now that same defense destroyed Peyton Manning. You get what I'm saying? So now this is an argument I always receive when I say who the best quarterback is, when I always vouch for Peyton Manning. Now, this is an argument I always get thrown at me, right? But at the same time, like I always say, it's a lot of times it's variables. Now, when you look at that team that Tom Brady went against, that Legion of Boom team, that was a whole different Legion of Boom team that Tom Brady went against. You get what I'm saying? Now, even in the first half, they gave Tom Brady problems. But one of the things that happened in the second quarter, you had a ton of injuries. You had Cliff Averill that gave that was giving Tom Brady hell that game. The defensive end, he got hurt. He didn't play the second half that I remember. Um, if you remember the two cornerbacks that played on the other side of Richard Sherman, they was down to their third string cornerback.
Yeah,
And
because
if
I
you
remember they had lost the year prior. They lost
re-
Browner
right,
to I think it was Eagles, and one of them had signed him to that big contract.
I think it was the Saints. One of them did. It could have been
One
the
of them
Eagles.
signed, got signed a
Right.
big contract. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Browner had this little steroid thing too, the usage and everything as well. But
Mm-hmm.
like, if you recall that game, like Tom Brady might have thrown maybe 2 or 3 passes that was over 10 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like everything was like short, and because you had the cornerback playing so far off, playing like 10 yards back, and they was like constantly like driving the ball downfield, which was a good strategy by Bill Belichick, by the way. But but that was a whole different team because the team that Peyton Manning played against, like they had a good rotation. Remember they had if you remember they had Cliff Everill and they had Michael Bennett on each
Michael
side.
Bennett.
But
Yep.
when their rotation, you had I can't think of it, Clement and Red Bryant was the other two dudes they was rotating with. If you remember the next year, they went to the I think one of them went to the Jags. I want to say both of them might have went to the Jags, Red Bryant and Clement. You get what I'm saying? So you didn't have
Mm-hmm.
that same constant rotation with fresh legs coming into the game. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why I say, man, it is variable. Sometimes things happen, but nevertheless, in those situations, he came through and he stepped up. So you can't take nothing away from him because you can't control what you play against. You only play against what's in front of you, and you do a good job that count towards your legacy. So, nevertheless, man, you still gotta have Tom Brady as the GOAT, and I still had him as the GOAT even before the Super Bowl. This ain't nothing I'm talking about in hindsight. You get what I'm saying? He was still the greatest player of all time, quarterback, still the GOAT or whatnot now. But at the same time, Pat Mahomes still nudging, he's still threatening that position. You get what I'm saying? But that has been my take on that, and that is still my take on that. But
Yeah.
like I say, Patrick Mahomes, he still is in the GOAT conversation though.
Yeah. Yeah. Pat Mahomes, man. I think um, he's still in the conversation. I just think right now, um, a lot of people is probably going to be like want to take him out of the conversation just because everybody's a prisoner of the moment right now.
Correct.
This is probably the worst a lot of people have seen Pat Mahomes play on the big stage. You know what I'm saying? Even when it came to that Super Bowl against the Bucks, I mean, he played bad, but it wasn't this bad. I
It
mean,
was
24 yards in the first quarter. I mean, the first half. I mean, the offense could not move the ball at all. So everybody's probably looking at, oh, no, he's not a GOAT quarterback because GOAT quarterbacks don't play like that.
why they don't.
But I just think that we got to, like you said, man. He
That's
still got a
right.
long career ahead of him, man. He gonna get back, get motivated, and shit. If he's not the GOAT quarterback, they're still favored to win next year's Super Bowl.
Right.
Even after the loss, they still favored to win. So that says something right there about Pat Mahomes.
See, it's crazy, right? Like people would say that GOAT quarterbacks don't play like that. You get what I'm saying? But the same, like I say, man, I just pointed out like 3 scenarios when you seen Tom Brady play like that. With Peyton Manning had those type of games. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
I
there's
get what you're saying.
and there's
I'm
still
not saying me per
no, no,
se.
no. I know.
Yeah,
I
but
know
I'm just
you're not
saying
saying
people.
this. That's what I'm saying, and I'm saying that to them. I know you're not saying this.
Right.
But like, you get what I'm saying? And like, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, we got them as like two of the greatest quarterbacks we didn't watch play the game. You get what I'm saying? And then the other quarterbacks, how many, it ain't too many times they done been to the Super Bowl. Just going to the Super Bowl and not playing good is still a testament to your greatness because you made it
Right.
there. You know what I'm saying?
I
All together.
I agree. I think a lot of people right now just prisoners of the moment,
Right.
and I think also too, you have a segment of America. I say America's, but you got a segment of America that was kind of rooting low key for the Chiefs to lose. The Taylor Swift movement, all that. So that you're gonna have haters. You get what I'm saying? But
Right.
I think at the end of the day, bro, when you look at the Chiefs, Pat Mahomes, man, this guy, he's doing something that a lot of young quarterbacks haven't done, man. This guy's
Right.
still under the age of 30. And how many Super Bowls he done played in? This is what, fifth Super Bowl?
Yeah, got 3
You get what
in
I'm saying,
Vegas,
bro?
right.
So I mean, 5 Super Bowls under the age of 30, bro.
Yeah.
You talking with the big dogs. If you not in the conversation, you might be in the room or you
Oh,
close
no,
by. You feel
he
me?
definitely he right in their face, like,
He in
you know
a
what I'm saying?
somewhere. You feel me, man?
He in they
But
face, like, you know what
that's
I'm
what's
saying?
up, though, man.